Why? Because each pleasure and pain is a sort of nail which nails, rivets the soul to the body. Until she becomes like the body, until she becomes like the body and believes to be true, which the body affirms to be true. And from agreeing with the body and having the same delights, she is obliged to have the same habits and haunts, and is not likely ever to be pure at her departure. She could only view real existence through the bars of a prison, not in and through herself. She was wallowing in the mire of every sort of ignorance, and by reason of lust had become the principal accomplice in her own captivity. Philosophy, seeing how terrible was her confinement, of which she was to herself the cause, received and gently comforted her, and sought to release her, pointing out that the eye and the ear and the other senses are full of deception, and persuading her to retire from them and to abstain from all but the necessary use of them, and be gathered up and collected unto itself. Bidding her trust in herself and her own pure apprehension of pure existence, to mistrust whatever comes to her through the channels, and is subject to variation. For such things are visible and tangible, but what she sees in her own nature is intelligible and invisible, and that she ought not resist this deliverance. Do you not sense the deceit that is clouding your senses in a slavish haze? Can you not feel society pulsing through your veins like arsenic, asphyxiating your souls, coagulating your very faculties? Excommunicate the ignorance, the apathy, the dissimulation, the avarice, the pettiness, the self-doubt. These strings which suspend you all like marionettes. Perceive the tamed longing in your breaths. The dissatisfaction and insecurity teeming within the fissures of your words, fettered by the braces of social acceptance. Cease your collaboration with this overarching dogma that smokes your minds like puffs from a cigarette. You, and you, and you, and you, and all of you. You're more than just a pair of eyes beholding this world in meek compliance. More than a receptacle for lungs that pump air. More than a hapless victim of your own thoughts and mind. Remember what it is you truly are. Atoms of the universe, particles of God. All of you must loosen these reins that hinder your potential. And all of you who sanction false ideas masquerading as the truth to burrow into the malleable bosom of your minds. To every one of you who pledge fealty to that tyranny of public opinion. To every last one of you indoctrinated puppets who sow your own seeds to your own oppression and this ever-dilating tapestry of conformity, while traipsing tepidly down this battered trail towards quasi-civility, where the hands of clocks determine the parameters and perimeters of your liberties, and petty devices and self-delusion become your coping mechanisms.
Hey, what's going on here?
Can you not see what is happening? Can you not sense the signs? They're all around you, and yet you do not heed them.
Hey.
We're all just adrift aimlessly on this windswept sands of
I'm talking
your own
to you.
spiritual ruin, amalgamating your consciousness into misguided figments of fragments and devices.
Hey! What are you doing?
Families, nations, races, creeds, religions. We forge our own partialities.
You
into
need
these
to
chimerical
just sit
foundations.
down. Just sit down and we'll
these
get you a nice
are
meal.
nothing more than that spurious pose bearing this peer of this beguiling illusion.
Are you even hearing me?
And it shall fall, it shall fail, it shall dissipate.
Okay.
Once we have severed,
All right, that's it.
once we have severed the mortal coils that are bound to the soul, our very soul.
Why don't you just gather your stuff up and head on down the road, okay?
Henceforth, consummating the veritable underpinnings of your unity.
Sorry, guys. This is a restaurant, not a soapbox, okay? Why don't you just go?
For we are not men. We are not women. We are not managers or waitresses or black or fathers or mothers or grandparents or liberal or conservative. No, no, no,
right,
no!
all right.
These are roles that we have inculcated into performance. Falsehoods that belie our true selves.
All right, let's just go before somebody gets...
I implore you, my sistren and brethren, awaken. Awaken. Awaken!
I'm awake. I'm wide awake. I need
us-
you to go
let
somewhere and
us-
sleep it off.
Let us arise from this sedative that has numbed our souls. Let us shake these secular bars
All right.
that have caged
We
our
need to
very
stop.
spirit.
You need to go.
Let us roil this sediment that has accumulated a stratum of complacency upon our very
Hey! All right, that's it.
bedrock of our
That's it.
souls.
I am calling the police.
Ever more fervently unto that nourishment of that invigorating current.
Hello.
Enlightenment
Yes, I need
beyond.
to- I need to-
Extricate that venom from your veins.
Please, quickly.
Sink the blade of your integrity
Yes,
into
all
that
right.
heinous entity who has
man
so
here.
perniciously saddled into every
Disturbing
aspect,
the peace.
every crevice of our normality.
At my restaurant. It's 14309 Wetland Lane. Yeah.
Gripping
Get close.
like
Yes,
a
right.
parasite
I need you
upon
to
its
get there.
host.
You can hear him in the background. He's crazy.
Misleading, misguiding,
I don't know.
suffusing our very beings.
He's already freaked my
Our beings
She's in the
with
back. She won't come back out.
idleness, in and in association with the backside of evil. And this acculturated demon, has steered you towards its foul siren song of escapism, of
I need
consumerist
you
culture,
to wrap it up and head on out.
and the callous disregard for an exploitation.
I think you have a callous disregard for peace.
Earth that your feet have called home.
Why don't you
This thing
Oh, great.
which diverts our cognizance away from that magnificence that is within us. This wraith that's hiding behind the faces of passers-by. It's
All right, let's...
coating the very air that we breathe, blanketing the ground that we walk on, and its omnipotence is so overbearing so pathological that it has.
All right,
It
all right.
has inoculated you from reaching and attaining transcendence to your higher selves.
You are
This
a
is
very
not your world.
spoken man. I
This
give you
is
that,
not
but you need
my
to
world.
keep going.
No. Understand. This is the word of a few men. Aggrandized.
I'm sorry, everybody. The police
Unseen
are on
men
their way.
who
It shouldn't take long, okay?
hold an
I'm really
invisible
sorry.
cord girdling your consciousness, bridling you into and my friends, after you've been bridled into this temperance and this intrinsic disgust of life and this homogenized conformity and this superintended state of mind. I mean, why shan't we step forth towards the dissolution of this bureaucratic labyrinth that has enslaved the very sacrament of our essence? Would it not cease this madness? This
Madness. That's a great word right now.
trembling
Thank you.
beneath the fear, this shadow of fear, this that eclipses our heart, this suppression beneath the weight of our own misgivings.
Are you done?
Have we forgotten?
I guess not.
Forgotten to cultivate the beauty of our own existence, to sanction its fluorescence from the core of our being, flooding this reality with the inimitable sunlight of consciousness, feeling that wonderful, awe-inspiring brush along the skins of our souls from a higher state of awareness, urging us to face its ennobling countenance. So patiently it waits for that one singular moment when we shall gaze with forgotten recognition upon the mystique of its presence. And in that moment we have attuned our entire being unto the gospel of the universe.
That's a big subject there.
Listening without ears, seeing without eyes, feeling not with hands, but with our
All right,
wholly
come on.
devoted being unto all sources of life as it whispers through the trees. The years that have passed you by like mere seconds, furrowing indignantly the waves of the ocean, beating rhythmically in tandem with the heart of the universe.
Okay, let's wrap it up, Hal. Let's just
Calling us,
tell you what.
pleading with us
I'll wrap a sandwich up and you can take it with you. How about that?
to listen. To just listen. When will we listen? How much longer? When?
The police are on their way, and that gives you about a minute to get your ass off of my property.
My words are but a mere echo.
Very sorry, folks. Very sorry.
Why should I not repeat what I've heard? What better can I do between this and the setting of the sun?
Good day, sir.